Yeah, we're live. It took a while tonight. Yeah, it took a while. We're live, but it took a while tonight. We had some issues. The internet went down. I have no idea what that's all about. It was crazy though because we had issues.
Put my computer on my hotspot if you want.
Yeah, it says we're back on. Like we're having internet connection deals. Tell you what I can do though. I'm going to put this on.
Turn your Wi-Fi off.
Well, no, I'm going to keep the Wi-Fi on, but what I'm going to do is put this on airplane mode because the phone was giving a hard time. The phone was giving me a hard time. What was it? Last night or the night before last? It's all coming together now. Vlogmas 5. It's all coming together. In last night's Vlogmas, I had the phone on. And when I had the phone on, there was a bleed over or something. Somebody in the comments, may have been DJ, I don't remember who it was. They said that my phone was causing the issues because I picked up the phone.
Yeah, it was DJI.
So I'm wondering if that had something to do with it. But because when you said that just a minute ago, the first thing that happened was it said they were trying to rejoin the connection or reconnect. I don't know. The internet is giving us a problem. It may be because the Christmas tree appears to have gone through the ceiling. It does. If you look at it, it looks like the Christmas tree has gone through the ceiling. People should tune in just for that. I don't know. But being late is never good when you're late to a live stream. Yeah. It's never good because if you say you're going to be somewhere at 9-ish, is 9:40 9-ish? It could be. It depends on the type of person you are. There's some people in here. We may have some connection issues, people. So love us anyway and stick around. Our connection issues are, here's all I'm going to say about this. And who knows, the internet could go out right after I say this. When we were in Chattanooga, we had EPB. One of the best, fastest internet. It's fiber and fastest internet in the country. It still is. From what I understand, it's still the fastest internet in the country. And now, though, we are with Xfinity, which is a Comcast company, I guess. And it's terrible. The Kilted Adventure, Toby just joined, said, was about to go to sleep. EPBF is the best. EPB, fiber. Okay, yeah. EPB is awesome. And we miss EPB. Their customer service is the best of any customer service ever. Hello, Gary Millwood. Good evening. So I know we're late tonight, guys, but I had a phone call that I had to take and it was very important. And then that's why I put we'll be on at 9-ish because things happen. But I couldn't be on at 9-ish tonight. It was more like 9:30-ish, which ended up being 9:40. So you're here tonight, but I am coming through with my promise, which is to be here. Variety Entertainment has joined us again. It's always a pleasant to see you here, Variety Entertainment. But, it may be almost 10 o'clock here in the East Coast time zone. But, if you're in Central time, it's only 8:47. So you've got no excuse. The Kilted Adventurer says, Gary has been watching my videos. Thanks for being late, Bill. Hi, Gary. Excellent. See, we're a community growing, loving each other.
It's all about the support.
It's all about the loving support we give one another on this channel. You could just call it a big support group.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, it's probably a little too cheesy. I mean, you could also call it a big conspiracy group. Probably not. No. Our conspiracies are kind of lazy in this group. They are. We kind of plagiarize a lot of our conspiracies. It's how it goes. We spend all of our life picking up on things, especially.
Gary that noticed the glitch. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was Gary. That's right. I had it somebody else.
DJI too.
But Gary's one that noticed the glitch, and it probably was a cell phone. We spend all of our life looking at whether it's media, whether it's a storefront window of noticing certain things in certain seasons. And one of the things that I've noticed in my life that's changed drastically, and it started changing 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and it looks like it's going to go the way of the dinosaurs, or the way of the dodo, which was not a dinosaur, but the way of that's a saying because the dodo bird went extinct, and that's late night talk shows. So it's fitting that we're late tonight. It is fitting because now we're a late night talk show, sort of, and so I was watching Nichols and Johnny Carson. Now, come on, give it up for Nichols and Carson, their banter back and forth. You know who I'm talking about. Funniest people ever. Johnny Carson, and even going way back before my time, Merv Griffin, you know. Who else? I could keep naming names, but late night talk shows are dying. They're dying. The views are just way down. Jimmy Kimmel, you know, not many people watch Kimmel anymore. Jimmy Fallon, because you got the two Jims.
He's hilarious.
Jimmy Fallon is hilarious, but not really now. He was hilarious before the election.
What were the shows when he did the where they would compete against?
That's Jimmy Fallon. He's doing late night, right?
Called them something. What were they called?
I don't remember, but the point is, because there is one. The point is that after the election, it triggered something crazy. That who's the other guy? He used to teach Sunday school. I blogged about him back when I was a blogger. How many of you used to know I blogged? How many? Okay, don't answer that. It's terrible. But I blogged him. What's the other guy's name? I can't remember. He was on CBS, and he basically has one shtick, and that's it. Baker said, "I really should go to bed, but too lazy to get up off the couch." No, man, you're working hard on the night shift. You just stay right there on that couch and keep this screen open. If you go to sleep, it's okay. You'll have beautiful dreams of my voice. Maybe not beautiful dreams, but just, yeah, you're doing great, Baker. You're just stay put. Kilted Adventure says, I was a Leno fan. You remind me of a Leno fan. No, I'm kidding. Variety Entertainment said, soon you'll be the late night talk show, Bill. That's what I'm working for. I am working to be the late night talk show. Across somewhere between Carson and his one-liner zings and David Letterman's creativity. David Letterman got a little too snarky there at the end, though. A little too political, too, really. Kilted Adventure says, Gary is a loyal fan. He is indeed. Baker said, Leno was good. Yes, he is funny. I will give it this. Probably one of the hardest working comedians. In other words, whether he was, in the prime, in the late show, when he was doing the late show, he was still doing, I think, 2 nights a week in Vegas. The guy works hard. And then when he left the Tonight Show, they kind of forced him out, which y'all remember how that went in. They made a contract 5 years before that he was going to exit, but his numbers were great. They didn't want to lose him to another network. You know the story. And it's just kind of sad, really, because it made Jay look really bad, but he's a hardworking guy. I mean, it's one of those things. Billy McDaniel's in the house.
Yeah.
Billy McDaniel is in the house. Excellent. And Gary Millwood says, I love Johnny Carson. Walter Langston. What's up, Walter? Good to see you. He says, hi, everyone. Hello to you as well. Strong's Adventure. Bill at Strong's Adventure. I still have not watched the interview on your channel, so I'm definitely going to make sure that I do that tonight after this and check out the interview. By the way, guys, we have several YouTubers in here right now. Variety Entertainment's got a channel. We've got Toby, which is the Kilted Adventure, Strong's Adventure. All of these channels are great. Make sure that you open up another browser, go over, find their channels, or click on their names here. Can you click on the names to open up another browser? I can't remember. But you can go over there and make sure you subscribe. Give these guys a chance. If you like our channel, you're going to love their personalities. Because, there's a natural camaraderie between certain groups of YouTubers. I've known Billy at Strong's Adventures for a while now. And just amazing YouTube channel, great content. I've known Toby. I know Tony. Hey, Tony. No, I've known Toby for 20 years, 22 years, something like that. Has it been that long? No, about 17 years, not quite 20.
Yeah.
Known Toby a long time. He's got a great YouTube channel. So make sure that you spread the love out. Billy says, yes, on MASH. I think I'm with Christopher Hines. Good to see you. Says, when I was a kid, my grandfather would watch MASH than Johnny Carson. That's exactly right. Johnny Carson would come on, what time? 11:30 after the news. And so if you watch the local news, you would fall asleep watching the late show. I was lucky as a kid that I had a television in my room, and mom and dad say, all right, turn the TV off and go to bed. And then they'd go to the other part of the house and I'd turn the TV back on, but really low. And so you would watch the evening news, hey, the evening news is on. All right. But I wouldn't really watch it. I'd be, playing Army Men or something. And then Carson would come on, and I would always watch the monologue and the first guest. It was like a thing. Then Johnny retires, which he was kind of forced out. They wanted the young blood. They wanted Jay Leno in there. And then it became a soap opera. And it happened again with Leno and Conan O'Brien. You guys know that shtick. Even Conan, though, has called it quits. His show was amazing. He's one of the most popular of all of the late night people right now. He was the most popular, but his ratings, he was on TBS when he finished out. His ratings weren't that great. He parted ways, but he owned his company, and so he's still doing things. I think he's going to Showtime or HBO, one of those. Adventure. Oh, man, we have not seen Adventures of Moon Man. It's been a hot minute. Glad to see you back, Moon Man. Always good to see you. Strong's Adventures says, I agree, Baker. I miss Baker. Baker says, TV was better when they shut down at 2 a.m. and played the national anthem to say goodnight. All right, let me be the provocateur of this conversation. Because the knee-jerk reaction is to say, but was it really? Let's examine why. Why was it better? Because cable channels made a lot of money being 24 hours, right? So let's work that out. How come late night channels, they made a lot of money being up 24 hours versus the networks that shut down historically at 2 a.m.? I think when I remember some station in some region, because, that varied in your region. Some region, because in some places they would play the national anthem, but then like a local thing would come on and they'd play like shock theater, scary stuff on Friday nights. And I would sneak up and watch that too. And man, I would get so scared at these 1960s scary movies and 1950s scary movies. Anybody else? They were terrifying. Terrifying. Adventures of Moon Man said, it has been a while for sure. I'm sure he's going to say something else, but it ended with I'm. Before I say anything else, I'm grateful that you're here tonight. Thanks for stopping by. The more you talk, the livelier it gets. Thank you so much for being here during Vlogmas. And no, I'm not about to sign out. I just want to make sure that you hear me say, I'm grateful that you're here. I notice your names. We read almost every comment. And on our normal videos, when we're traveling around and doing our silly stuff and I'm doing weird editing, when we do that, we also respond to every comment. It may take us a few days, and sometimes it does not post to us when you've written it. I don't understand why. There's also a delay on the likes. There's also a delay in the sharing. We don't understand some of those things. It's weird. It's a conspiracy. No, probably not. I'm not important enough in the YouTube world for there to be any conspiracy against me. That's kind of a great place to be. Just not that important. I wrestle with the algorithm, not people. No, nobody is sitting at YouTube going, dear God, what is Bill going to do today? Nobody's worried about that. Well, we had I said this last time, I want to say it again. We had a great candle night service at the church. It was awesome. Carolyn did a great job with the praise team. Praise team, amazing. And had some people get saved. We're waiting for some email kind of confirmation, get them connected to the church, but it was awesome. So that's always good. Make sure you're connected to a church during the season. It's really, really important because that's why we celebrate Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas for a pretty Christmas tree. Celebrate Christmas because it's the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. So make sure that you connect somewhere during this Christmas season and get involved with the church. Speaking of Christmas trees, though, I need your opinion about the Christmas tree behind me. Now, first of all, as Billy at Strong's Adventure pointed out, it appears as if the top of the tree is going into the ceiling. That's what it looks like. Other than that, do the lights look even to you? I need to know. I'm a little obsessive. I need to know. Gary Millwood, well, let's see. Let's back up. Christopher Hines says it's mostly clean and not political. Yes. But Norman Lear, who was the producer and writer of many of the shows that came out when I was a kid, shows that are funny that we treasure today that are as harmless as pie compared to today, were some of those shows are the seeds of some of the things that we're kind of cursed with today. Just saying. Just throwing that out there, so was it as wholesome as we remember, or do we have to go way back into the 1950s and 60s to talk about, quote, wholesomeness? But I think people even from that time period would say that the shows then were a little, they weren't really reflective of society. They kind of, whitewashed society. They kind of cleaned up the reality of society. Again, I'm just kind of being a provocateur. I don't know why I'm using that word tonight. I never use that word in casual conversation, but talk amongst yourselves. Let's see where this goes. Strong's Adventure. Unless I missed. I think I missed Brengie. She goes, "Hi, I'm late." Wait, I'm not the only one. I was late. Billy says, "Mammy actually went to bed before me for the first time ever. Poor thing is tired." Well, she's going to get some rest. That's good. That's always good. Cindy Cindy's on our praise. Amazing voice. Amazing voice. Variety Entertainment says, wait a minute. The Kilted Adventure says the tree topper is in the attic. The attic is the tree topper.
Well,
Boom.
Billy said it looks like the angel got too excited.
The angel was back there dancing, shouting, having a good time, and went through the ceiling. Gary Millwood's or Variety says, yes, they look even to me. Well, I'm needing this feedback and affirmation. My general, I'm telling you, my security within myself is necessary. I need these lights to be even so I'm secure in myself. It's an insecurity issue, I think. So Gary Millwood said, I just joined a new church bill. Outstanding, Gary. Outstanding. All right. It's always good to connect to a body of believers. It strengthens you. It helps you out. It's really good. Strong's Adventure says, I was going to say that again, but yes, the lights look great. I know you said it last night, and that's why I said it again tonight. I'm busted. That's why I asked tonight, because I thought, is he just being nice, or do they look even? That's the truth. There you go. Walter Langston said, the tree makes me think of the movie Christmas Vacation. I think somebody said that last night too. Billy said, looks like the angel got too excited. Gary Millwood said, love the lights. Christopher Hines says, I like watching the late night cheesy kung fu flicks. I remember those too. And, their mouth didn't match up. When they would try to dub in English, it didn't match up well at all. It was hilarious. Billy says, I bet there's a beautiful angel in the attic. Several actually. The Kilted Adventure says the squirrel is about to jump out and the dog Snot is going to be the chasing. Best Christmas movie. Christmas Vacation is getting a second theatrical release. I think that's hilarious. That shows you how well the movie was received then.
My favorite Christmas movie.
Well, your favorite Christmas movie is The Grinch.
With Jim Carrey.
It's
gotta be that.
Look, it's a good movie. I love it because you love it. It wasn't my favorite when it came out. It's true. But I love it because Carolyn loves it. Chevy Chase and Christmas Vacation, though, it's classic. Chevy Chase is one of those guys. Speaking of talk shows, Chevy Chase had his own talk show. Do you remember that? It was terrible. He was terrible at it. Baker says, agreed, K Adventure. What did K Adventure say? The squirrel thing. Billy says, I like the white lights. I do too. We had color lights on there for a few years for nostalgia.
Yeah.
They
didn't brighten things up enough. It made it look dim.
It made it look. If they had a brighter color.
Yeah.
I don't know. Walter Langston said his favorite Christmas movie,
Home Alone,
is Home Alone.
Where were they going on vacation when he got left home alone? And don't
Google it. We're on the honor. Where was the family going on vacation when he was left at home? That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, it's a copyright. I don't know if you can. Is that? I guess it would be.
I don't know. No, nope.
Only boomers have.
Florida, Benji.
But here's the thing.
Out of town.
We've got a winner. We have got a winner. Who said that? I can't find.
Baker said
Baker. We've got a winner. Paris, France.
Yes, they were.
Ding. Very good. Variety Entertainment says that's a freaking good question. That is a good question. That's a great question. Chris Ryan says Die Hard. That is an awesome Christmas. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I've seen some videos that talk about that. It should be a Christmas movie. The first few. Brent G said New Orleans.
No.
Well, they speak. There's some French in New Orleans. There is. Kilted Adventure says, wasn't First Blood a Christmas movie? I don't think so. I don't think First Blood was a Star Wars. Here's the thing: The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens. You guys know I love Star Wars, even though they totally
the new one. No.
They totally bombed. But the Force Awakens was well timed. It's okay. Theatrically, though, J.J. Abrams is a genius. Yeah, they released it at Christmas, and if you'll go back and watch it, all of the imagery is in greens and reds and silvers and golds. Go back and watch it.
Yep.
Greens and reds, silvers and golds. Because it is and even the sword fight, the lightsaber fight between Kylo Ren and Rey and Finn gets involved with it. Yep. Even the sword fight is amongst the pine trees with what color lightsabers, and then the flashes of those different colors. It was meant to go well with Christmas.
Yeah.
And it worked. And I sat there the first time we watched it. We watched it many times in the theater, several times.
Yeah, we did.
Because it was Star Wars on the IMAX.
Beautiful.
And ask me how many times I've seen The Last Jedi. 1.5 times. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. Strong's Adventure says, Die Hard is my son's favorite Christmas movie. Starts a 20-minute fight with my daughter every time he says that. Yeah, because it is. That's a hot topic. Billy says Braveheart was another great holiday movie. What?
Here,
what? I think we are losing control. We have lost. The inmates have taken over the prison. Walter Langston says, never caught that watching Star Wars. Yeah, go back and watch. Seriously, Walter, I'm not making this up.
Watch it around Christmas time, too. Yeah.
Watch it, especially if you watch it around Christmas time. It is so, this part of it is so very obvious. It's insane. Toby at Kilter Adventure says, we have a Star Wars Christmas. I can't talk. We have a Star Wars Christmas tradition as a movie. He was a genius. 5 guys after. However, let's talk Rambo some more. I watched, I've not seen the 2 new Rocky movies, Creed. I haven't seen either of those. I guess I'm not a Rocky fan. I don't know. I liked Rocky 1. I've seen 1 through 4 probably 150 billion times. I think I got through most of the one where Tommy Gunn, that character's in it. And, I think Rocky 4 was a Christmas movie, wasn't it? Was Rocky 4 a Christmas movie? I'm being dead serious right now. No, maybe. I can't remember. Variety says, of course, Toby says yes to Braveheart. It's the kilt. Of course he's going to say yes to Braveheart. Variety Entertainment says, honestly, The Rise of Skywalker made The Last Jedi look really good. Rise of Skywalker was just so lazily written. Oh, it was bad. Yes, anything compared to anything compared to The Last Jedi is good. The Star Wars Christmas special. The Star Wars Christmas special is better. And listen, I'm not going to go into the whole woke thing that you hear the Star Wars Club YouTubers. Those guys are geniuses. Don't get me wrong, but I mean they bash Disney and everything else. I'm not trying to join that banter, even though I think they have some valid points. I'm just saying The Last Jedi is terrible. That's all. And it's poorly written, bad strategy, and I don't know what else to say. We love the character Rey in The Force Awakens. We thought she was wonderful.
Yes.
We thought this she is going to carry this movie. Only for The Last Jedi to be so terrible, which made her character look bad. We have Christopher Hines saying Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter, some people would call Harry Potter a Christmas movie. I think so, right? Red Dawn has red in it. Billy, you're just scratching the bottom here, buddy. Red Dawn does have, it does. It was during the fall, right? It starts in the fall. And, the Russians parachute in or whoever. It was a communist country because they were going to kill us all. And isn't it by the end of the movie, it's like close to New Year? So I don't know. I'm stretching now too. Violet Johnson, Mom is in the house. Everything's always crazy with Mom. And by the way, I got your on the other videos, but I didn't comment back because I was getting ready for this. But Billy says, does anyone remember the Star Wars Christmas special? Yeah, I just said it. Yeah, I was just talking about that. It's insane. Love her heart. Carrie Fisher looks higher than 3 moons. She was bad off at the time. The Kilted Adventure. I don't mean that disrespectfully to the late Carrie Fisher. I'm just saying she had problems. The Kilted Adventure says, at Christopher Hines, yes to HP. However, the Baptists will excommunicate you if you like HP. Oh, Lord. The inmates have broken out. Billy says, Lil Benjamin has a Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has given Star Wars a little bit of juice. I got to admit. And it's interesting. Some of the episodes dragged a little, but I'm not going to tell you if you've seen The Mandalorian, the end of the last season, I don't think there was a real Star Wars fan alive that didn't have a tear in their eye. So I'm going to say it's all we asked for from the new trilogy, and they refused to give it to us. But The Mandalorian gave it to us. And who knows? The Book of Boba Fett might be wonderful. Mom says, howdy, Carolyn. And Variety Entertainment says Christmas being celebrated in Harry Potter at Hogwarts is interesting to me. It's is that implying God exists in the Harry Potter universe and created wizards and more? I have so many questions. I've never Carol and I couldn't get through Harry Potter.
Yeah,
they say that it requires a certain personality type to what I don't know. I never latched on to the Harry Potter movies. My oldest daughter read some of the books and she said, yeah, it's not bad. But I don't think my son either, and my youngest, I don't think Nathan and Crystal never did. Anna did a little bit. It was like, eh.
In fact, Anna got to do Hogwarts down at Universal.
She did Hogwarts down at Universal. We've not even been as a family. We've not been to Universal Studios as a family together.
No.
We're just it. I heard it's wonderful.
I have been there.
Well, yeah, we've been there, but not as a family.
Well, I had been there before we met. And
right.
Knowing that we were going vacationing at a theme park with our kids, I remembered from my days that Universal was more of a party, and I don't want to do that with our kids.
When you walk in Universal, it is lots of drinking and stuff like that. Yes. We have little kids, and we're weird that way. It's just us. We're kind of weird. So what are you gonna do? Billy said yes to the Mando. It was awesome. Kills Adventure says, did I miss anybody? No, I did not miss anybody. Kills Adventure says Star Wars, The Force, Harry Potter, magic, difference, just asking for a friend. Toby's wanting to stir it up in here tonight.
Right?
I want to stir it up in here tonight. You should have been in here last night, Toby. We got crazy last night. Billy says, good point. Good point, Toby. Sorry. And Bill's not wearing a hat tonight. What are you going to do? Adventures of Moonman says, I really like Harry Potter when I was about 12 or so, but can't motivate myself to watch it now that I'm grown. Billy said, and here's the thing. I gotta add to that is that sometimes we're asking too much of movies. Let's talk about this real quick. The Marvel Cinematic Universe up to Endgame. I was so impressed with the way Marvel Studios, Disney, took us from Iron Man to Endgame that for the most part kept us sort of grounded. It had a great conclusion to it. Now, what they're doing now is losing me, and I'm not interested. The Hawkeye series isn't bad. I like that a little bit. But most of it is just silly. As an adult, it is harder to get into some of these movies. Because, yes, there's a nostalgic quality to it. Don't get me wrong. But to really sink your teeth into it, I don't know. I think, you're watching spaceships make explosion sounds in space. And you know what I'm saying? Things like that where you're going, you can't. It's just as you get older. I'm just saying, as you get older, it becomes a little more difficult to consume that much product all the time. Walter Langston said, loves the Harry Potter movies. We're getting a lot of love for Harry Potter. A lot of love here for Harry Potter. Baker says, never got into Harry Potter movies. Kids love the books. Variety Entertainment says, I love Harry Potter, but also have a lot of nostalgia associated with it. So that might be the part. And that's a lot of people. Nostalgia will dictate what you watch on everything. I have friends of mine that love Andy Griffith more than anything else because it represents coming home in the afternoon and maybe watching it on TBS and reruns and holding on to the nostalgic aspect of life as it used to be. Being the history guy that I am and love being, it's hard for me to, because there were some major things going on in the world when Andy Griffith, for example, was being written and produced. And so it's hard for me to disassociate what's taking place in that world of Andy Griffith with what was really going on historically at the time. In 1963, we almost went to war, a nuclear war. It was very serious. Yeah, are you following what I'm saying here? A lot of times you watch these old movies. I loved when cinema in the late 60s, early 70s went rogue, kind of got a little more realistic. Kilted Adventure, let's see, where am I? Brent G says, I'm old. I think I was there. Brent G says, I'm old and read the Harry Potter books and watched the movies. I obviously enjoyed the imaginary world. It is an imaginary world, just fiction. Billy says, but they can never match the wit and wisdom of the great philosopher, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, and he's another one of those that it's hard for me to find somebody that doesn't like Forrest Gump, except for my mom. My mother hates Forrest Gump. She thought it was the dumbest movie ever. I watched Forrest Gump in 1994 before I went into the military. And honestly, thoughts of Forrest Gump kept me going in the military. I think Forrest Gump actually helped me during basic training in AIT. Kilted Adventurer says Hogwarts was in Scotland, where they wear kilts. Violet Johnson said, did not, that's mom, Violet Johnson, she said, did not like Forrest Gump. She's going to emphatically, I hate this guy. She didn't like him. So is it Forrest Gump or just Tom Hanks? Do you not like Tom Hanks movies? Big? Come on now. Okay, let's just work with me a minute. I'm not going to say anything because it's kind of weird. So I'm not going to go into detail, but I want you to think about the plot line for the movie Big, which was a big break for Tom Hanks. So think about that plot line, get it in your head, and then ask yourself, would that plot line work in 2021? Just think about it. And that's all I'm going to say. It's just kind of weird. Billy says, New Scotland. Now Scotland can't be wrong. We have got some kilt-loving people in this place. It's just that simple. Did not like Gump. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the humanity. I can't believe someone doesn't like the Gump. Chris Fry says, Dr. Strangelove. Okay. What's the full title?
Of what? Dr.
Strangelove and How I Learned to Accept because that is an amazing, it's a movie. Dr. Strangelove. Pull that up, Jamie. Pull that up.
Dr. Strangelove.
And there's the rest of the thing.
I'm looking. You're talking about like How I Learned.
Yep. How I Learned to.
It's coming up. Oh my gosh, stop it. How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. That's one of my favorites. I just about like anything Stanley Kubrick. Great filmmaker. Stanley Kubrick is a part. If I had 100 reasons for why I wanted to start a YouTube channel and get into some other projects down the road that we're working on now, part of the reason was because of Stanley Kubrick's influence. Just watching him and learning more, and not watching him literally, but watching his movies and realizing what all you can say in one frame, and then trying to do that even in shots like this. Why I have the shot set up there was a strategy. Whether that's working or not is a different story and all that. But even in our videos, especially the ones we've made this past year, every frame mattered. Every frame there was intent. It's not like, hey, I'm just going to stick the phone out the window. No, there was a reason why I did what I did in every frame, especially this year. The more I've learned, Stanley Kubrick, you just can't go wrong. Gump is an annual tradition, at least one time a year. Got to watch it. Variety Entertainment says, you were in the military. I did not know that. Yes, I served from 1994 to 2003 or 2004. I can't remember. Went to Officer Candidate School, graduated KMA in I was class 3997. And so there you go. Lots of fun. Got mobilized in 2001 with the rest of the military. Gary Millwood says, come on, Bill. Disconnection is the reason I watch your videos. Well, there you go then. There you go. To kind of suspend disbelief, right? Violet Johnson, a.k.a. Mom. Do not dumb, but I felt like he was I'm thinking you didn't think he was dumb, but you thought he was too gullible. No, I think the movie kind of says he's dumb. He had a 70 IQ or below 70 IQ.
Well, yeah.
So he was, I guess, supposed to be dumb. Billy
Billy said, Gump makes you feel like a genius.
Right. It's another reason to watch Forrest Gump. Maybe that movie is all about good things happening to stupid people. I can't figure it out. But Mark Seswitz, we missed you last night, Mark, says he's laughing at Baker. The Kilted Toby says, we are going to take a Marion's Downs family trip to New Zealand and make about 10 YouTube videos each. I am all game.
I said, Toby, we're in, and we'll let you cover the cost.
That's right.
Just kidding.
New Zealand. That's where they film Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
and you talk about it's an amazing place.
It's beautiful.
Now, Mom can tell you all about Australia.
Yes. I've seen their pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mom loves Australia. She'll tell you all about it. She'll tell you all about it. She loved it. She's ready to go back. I mean, the last time she went, it was like 20 plus years ago, but she's ready to go back. Variety Entertainment says, wow, thank you for your service, Bill. Hey, you know what? They actually paid for some of my college. So I call it even. I call it even. People, you know what? We so many people have served, and I'm grateful for their service. So many people serve now in variety of, we have, and he's not shown up this year, but we had a very faithful subscriber that, he drove an ambulance service, and he would put pictures in, to our Facebook page about, different scenes and stuff. It's kind of fun. So I'm thankful for all the people that serve in the military. Mark says, recovering from a face plant in the cellar. It's gruesome. Oh, Mark, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope you get to feeling better. And we need to hear the story of how that happened. We need to hear the story. Adventures of Moonman says, good night, everyone. I need to get some sleep. I got to get up early in the AM. Peace, y'all. Hey, peace to you as well, Moonman. You have a great night. Thank you for stopping by. Dennis Jackson from B-Town says, y'all just getting here. I almost forgot to tune in. How could you forget us, Dennis? How in the world? I'm just kidding. I'm glad you're here. Mom says she went to New Zealand, and from what I understand, she didn't leave anything there, so she's not going back.
I didn't know she'd been there.
Yeah, they've been all over the place. I think she missed out on the boat to Tanzania. Is it Tanzania? Tasmania. Duh. Okay, sorry. That is so yeah, because they're all kind of together down under. That's my Australian, right? Down under. Is that good? No, not buying it. I used to be good at imitations or impersonations. I guess I did not keep up with that and improve on that ability. So I don't make those public any longer, the imitations. But we started talking tonight about the late show, how late shows died. Late shows just died. And you got the two Jimmys, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and what's the other dude's name? I cannot pull that up, Jamie. What is that other guy's name? Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and the CBS guy. And I just want to know your opinion on this. Are they funny anymore? I cannot determine. They don't. Everything that I hear them saying in their monologues and with their guests sort of revolve around I guess a political narrative. Stephen Colbert. Duh. Okay. It's almost as if they're trying to be some kind of a YouTube influencer. By the way, if I'm going to influence you on anything, I'm going to talk about my faith in Christ. I'm going to talk about things like that. I'm not trying to influence you into a political mindset, because I think politics matter a whole lot unless you've settled spiritual issues. I mean, that's just my opinion. But one of the things that Americans have done for 70 years is, at 11:30, right before you turn over, go to bed, is you would watch 30 minutes of a late show and laugh a little bit about news, but not really be in the news. You're not diving into the subject. I've noticed that I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in probably 4 or 5 years, because Saturday Night Live used to just make fun of everybody. That was what was so fun. But now I just feel like it's sort of political banter, almost like you're watching 4 news anchors try to make jokes out of the news, which is why I guess Gutfeld on Fox is doing so well, because that's what late night is now. What Gutfeld is doing on Fox. And I don't even think he's that funny. Let's be honest. Gary Millwood said Conan. I was thinking, because Conan is kind of out of the game. He had his last show a few weeks ago, but Conan was one of them. But Conan is still funny. I think Conan felt sort of swept away in the election of 2016. Kilted Adventure says, before New Zealand, Falkland Islands is on my short list, believe it or not. Not a bad call. Jimmy Fallon is eternally funny, except for the political crap. And honestly, Jimmy Fallon is a part of the reason why I said this, is because I watched a bit from him. I got to admit it. I watched a bit from him on another YouTube channel that I never watch. But they were talking about the fact that his humor, all of the jokes he was making in this one segment, this one shtick that he does where he writes thank you cards, all of the shtick was in a political context. And I don't know. Again, I thought we used to turn into, maybe I'm wrong, because not a lot of people are saying anything, but I used to tune into these people to make me laugh a little bit. Hey, let's get a joke. And they made fun of everybody. I used to love the way Dan Aykroyd made fun of Jimmy Carter. As I got older, when I was a kid, because keep in mind, I'm 47, so I was pretty young when Carter administration was in place. But even in reruns, I thought, boy, Dan did a good job on this. Now, I did watch, believe it or not, when Mom and Dad would watch Saturday Night Live back when Saturday Night Live was actually still cool. And I still remember watching it. I didn't get the humor. I remember that one segment, Jane Curtin, I think that was her name, and a few of the other ones did. What's her name? It was Gene Wilder's wife. But they did that one segment where they'd go, telegram. Anybody remember that one? Telegram. And somebody would keep knocking on the door, and they're like, who is it? Who is it? When they would open the door, it was this big stuffed Jaws, Carolyn, that would act like it's eating them because Jaws was in the theater. Now, listen, you think that's not funny, but it was. And here's why. Is because they would be reading the newspaper about this killer shark on the loose. You're not thinking this is funny, but it is. And then when somebody would knock on the door, this shark would knock on the door. I'm losing you already. I can tell you don't think this is fun. But it was funny, wasn't it, guys? It was funny. Strong's Adventure says, Mom says Stephen Colbert is mean-spirited. Yes. And I think that what I think happened there, Mom, is he found shtick that worked during the election and just kept with it. And after a while, you run out of funny material and you're just telling the news. Billy Strong's Adventure says they are too political now these days. I want to watch something entertaining as a distraction from the real world. And that is why YouTube is beating the socks out of these late night people. That's why. Mark Sezowich says, Bill, what had happened was I got my feet tangled up in the charging cords as I was walking away from my man cave chair. Walt. That's all. I'm sorry. And I hope you mend quickly because that's terrible. I don't need the charging cords to fall. I'm just saying, for the record, I do that well on my own. Yeah. Billy McDaniel's in here, Carolyn. He has seen me fall on. I think he went to bed. But Billy McDaniel has seen me fall on trails in our video, but I didn't film it. Thank goodness. Not just going down the trail, but going up the trail. Aww. And sadly, just walking in a straight line on a paved road. He did. I'm not making this up. If you watch the Dolly Sods video, in one frame, I'm dry. In the next segment, I'm wet because I fell in the water. So it's not like only you have seen me fall face first. All of these people that hike with me. I'm always thankful, and I'll say it again later when he's in here, if he's already left, but I'm very grateful that Billy's hiked with me. I'll say more about that in a segment when I know he's in here, but he is, because Carolyn is not a big hiker on, these big, crazy trails. She doesn't do that kind of stuff. And Billy is actually, especially after getting that one situation in one video where we had a nightmare situation take place, but it's been nice to have the safety and of being with somebody, but also being with somebody who is an expert out there, and just love being with them. It's just great. Oh, and Mom chimed in. That was Gilda Radner. Thank you, Gilda Radner. It was she was married to Gene Wilder, and apparently he really loved her. They had a very serious romance. Bernadette Peters. I remember Bernadette Peters from the movie The Jerk. Now I remember Bernadette Peters from a lot of things, but she was in The Jerk. Chris Ryan says I like Adam Sandler. Man, it's going back. Now here's the thing. I was never the biggest Adam Sandler fan, but that generation of Saturday Night Live, they were hilarious. They were absolutely hilarious. Looking back, I probably respect Sandler's work more now than I did then. So that's interesting. Mark says he's laughing, and Billy Adventure says, "Man, I hope I feel better." Or yeah, I hope you feel better as well, because that again, a face plant's pretty bad. Walter Langston says, "I got a few videos on YouTube where I fall and still upload them." Walter, I got to be honest with you. I think I've probably seen your channel, and I may have even commented on there. We may have even talked about this. But as you know from making content, that's been a few videos ago. So I'm going to check out your channel. Make sure that you guys check out Walter's channel as well. Always, when we have these other YouTubers in there, it's not going to hurt anybody to go over, make sure you subscribe, you hit the bell, save a video. You have to watch a video right now because you're watching me, okay? But you save a video. You open up a video and you save it for later. Give them one watch and always watch a whole video. Yes, a starting out YouTuber will probably, and I'm not saying that Walter does this, I'm saying what I did when I first started, will take too long in the beginning. And I still do this. Sometimes I don't care. I'm like, this is the intro. I want to do an intro like this. But, when a YouTuber is starting out, you got to give them room to grow and for them to learn what people like, what people don't like. So especially when you see a YouTuber with, less than 5,000 subscribers, give them a watch and watch a whole video, help them out. It's always good for them. Walter Langston said, Dolly Sods is just under 2 hours from my house, and I've never been there. Walter Langston, that is a shame, my friend. That is a shame. You must go to Dolly Sods. I wouldn't go right now because I don't think it's open. They usually have to close the road starting now, or actually a month ago because of the snow. Crazy area. Dolly Sods is crazy. When you guys see me make videos with Dolly Sods, Seneca Rocks, Spruce Knob, that whole region, I mean, Monongahela National Forest, you could just wrap it up by saying Monongahela National Forest. You're on the Allegheny front, and the jet stream drops down, bringing cold Canadian air and all kinds of moisture, and it slams into that area. It's not even a very large area. You're looking, if you were driving it, you can drive through the Monongahela Forest. It'll take you about 5 hours to wiggle through there. You've got, I think, 5 different wilderness areas all kind of packed in together. No 4 lanes through there, just 2 lanes, and not many of those. And some wonderful back roads that you can't access during the winter. My point is during the winter, they won't even be predicting snow and you'll get in a blizzard. And Pocahontas County over there, wonderful area. Going back to my roasting here of Walter, you need to hike that area. Wonderful, wonderful area. It is the most unique mountains in the state of most unique mountains in the Appalachian mountain chain. Most unique by far. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm not trying to put one against another. I'm just saying, as far as if you dropped me off in the Unicoi Mountains, it's going to take a while before I can figure out where I'm at, as far as other than with a compass and a map, because the flora and fauna, shapes of the mountains, they are unique, but I'm probably going to get a little thrown off between there and the Smokies. Yes, the Smokies are higher mountains and so forth, or the Smoky Mountains from Pisgah National Forest across the line there. But if you drop me off anywhere in Monongahela National Forest, I'm going to know I am not in the Southern Appalachians. I am not on the Blue Ridge Parkway here in Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains here in Virginia. I'm going to immediately know that I couldn't be out west because the mountains aren't high enough. The average mountains, the highest mountain is 4,800 feet, it's Spruce Knob. But the average elevation, and this is the part that gets me, the average elevation in West Virginia is 2,200 feet. So that it is truly the mountain state. So I know people in Colorado go, these mountains are so small. They're not. But when your average elevation is 2,000 feet, man, you're on a mountain everywhere you go in West Virginia. Wonderful place. But so I roast you a little bit, Walter. But man, I'm telling you, you need to get over there to Dolly Sods. Beginning about May. May's great. Bring a coat because you never know. Back to this. It was my preaching at the moment. Toby at Kilted Adventure says, in scabs on both of my legs from filming and busting thorns and sharp rocks, hazards of the trades. Toby's out there making YouTube videos on the trail. Mark says, the Kilted Adventure, Gene Wilder's wife. No, the Kilted Adventure is not Gene Wilder's wife, because Gilda's been gone for a long time now. Very sad. She got a cancer, if I'm not mistaken. Gary Millwood said, I usually watch a few of the videos before I subscribe. Yeah, I know. But see, okay, here's the thing. A YouTuber has to, in order to be partnered and have the opportunity to make money on the platform. I mean, I understand sometimes you want to make sure that your values are in line. And that's true. Like with some, most of the time, if they're in here, most people, they're pretty family friendly normally. I don't want to speak for everybody, but it's because I don't know. Sometimes you don't know. But the bottom line is they need the subscription to get into the partner program. After they're in the partner program, the subscription doesn't matter as much at all. And, so you watch a few videos and you click the bell for notifications, and it helps them get to that. I think it's 1,000 subscribers they need now, and 4,000 hours of watch time. I think so. Toby, you can correct me on that. So it's basically just kind of helping them get going, helping them get out the door. Strong says, I got to run. Y'all have a great evening, and I'll try to catch y'all tomorrow. Strong, I will be here with bells on. Not literally, but I will see you tomorrow as well. Mark says, night, Strong. And Walter Lang said, we'll have to go in the spring or summer. Let's do it. Billy McDaniel and I will meet you down there. We're wanting to do meetups anyway, which is something we've been dying to do over the past few years, is do meetups with other people that interact with the channel. They make for great videos, and it's kind of like having a family reunion. They can go bad. It's possible. But it sounds wonderful. Variety Entertainment says it's 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, and it's hard. It's not easy. They changed the rules, Variety, on me. I think I've been making YouTube videos for 2 years. I can't remember what I had. Oh yeah, I had the watch time, but didn't have the subscribers. I had well over my watch time. Believe it or not, the watch time on my videos, I've said this last night too, a little higher than the average. It's not bad. I'm always grateful for that. But I didn't have the 4,000 subscribers, and when they changed the rules. And what's funny is that at the time, you know, I even had the little thing. It said partnered on it and all that, and they took it. I didn't cry. I thought about it.
They sure did.
But here's the thing. I had a choice. I could stop making videos and pout and throw the computer, or I could keep making videos for me and not worry about and just keep playing by the rules. And it was less than a year later, 6 months later, I had what I needed. Walter Langston said, go to New River Gorge a lot, just under 20 minutes from the house. Well, you know, New River Gorge is pretty nice. You know, a lot of times the reason why we go where we go is because it's easy access. That's true. That's why we've got 100 videos or so on Skyline Drive and Virginia Blue Ridge Parkway. It's close. We live 30 minutes or less from Skyline Drive. We get a season pass every year. And Blue Ridge Parkway is free, and it needs to stay that way. You want to see me get political quick? Like it comes down to whether they should charge for the Blue Ridge Parkway. They should have never charged for the Skyline Drive either. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Christopher Ryan says, wasn't The Golden Compass an anti-Christian movie? Indeed. The books are meant to be derogatory towards Christianity. And I couldn't believe, what's Tom Cruise? What was his ex? Kim his ex-wife. I can't remember. Whatever her name was, I can't believe she started it because she comes across as she used to come.
Holmes?
No, not Katie. Nicole Kidman. Yeah. She starred in that, and I thought she was a devout Catholic. But what are you gonna do? Killed Adventure says there's no crying in baseball. No, there is not. Tom Hanks. Variety Entertainment says, well,
are you crying?
Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball. I got lost there on Variety Entertainment, though. It says, well, you got it back.
Well, because she was on how they change the rules on YouTube all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the thing. I got it back. It took me 6 or 7 months. And here's the thing. I threw out some top 10 videos, and that's what did it, which I'm going to make some more top 10 videos. Top 10 is like easy clickbait. It's a fact. You throw out a top 10 video that's halfway interesting in some way. It may not trigger right away. Our rest area, top 10 facts about rest areas. It's set at nothing, 150, like a lot of our videos do, 150, 200 views, but it'll eventually hit the algorithm and eventually start getting shared. And then all of a sudden you look and it's got, I don't remember how many it's got right now, 2,000, 4,000 views or something. Somebody can look it up. I don't know. Variety Entertainment says Virginia has the better half of the Blue Ridge Parkway. I do not agree, Variety. Drove the whole thing last summer in North Carolina Park. Just wasn't quite as impressive. You know what? That comes down to what you like to look at. That's what I'm thinking. My youngest daughter, Crystal, has had the opportunities to go with us to the mountains the most. Because she wants to go. Nathan, he can take it or leave it. Anna, it depends on her mood. But Crystal's gone with us quite a few times. And we'll go over there to the Blue Ridge Parkway here in Virginia because we're just down the road from it. And you've got the big veranda. It looks like out west. It looks like you are out west sometimes with the big open views of the as we say it here, the Shenandoah Valley. It's not the Shenandoah. Shenandoah. I don't know.
Does it have the on the end? I thought it was Shenandoah.
It's Shenandoah. Yeah. I put too much of an on it. You're right. Yeah. Shenandoah. So you've got the beautiful big open spaces on top of these average sized mountains. These mountains are only 4,000 feet. And the tallest mountain in Virginia is not on the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's Mount Rogers, I think so.
I believe so, yeah.
And we've not been there yet. And it's a couple hours from the Blue Ridge Parkway. So it's beautiful. And I like the weather better up there because you can beat the heat up there in the summer. It can be 85 here, but if you go up there, it's 75. But in North Carolina, around Mount Mitchell, you can drive in 2 separate places, 2.5 hours above 5,000 feet. 2.5 hours above 5,000 feet on the East Coast. That's a big deal. So it's hard for me because I love being up in the mountains and wiggling through the mountains and stuff. Whereas the Shenandoah or the Blue Ridge Parkway is kind of a different, it's all about those huge reveals. But you're only at like 2,500 feet. 3,500 feet.
But we stayed at the Pisgah.
But the Pisgah Inn, if let's say you want to go see the Biltmore, see what old Georgie Porgy Vanderbilt built. If you want to go to Biltmore, stay at the Pisgah Inn. I think the Pisgah is right at 5,000 feet.
Oh, it's so
and it's one of the most peaceful motels we've ever stayed at. We take a sabbatical every, I think, April. I mean, it comes in April, last in March, right when they open. And there's very little spring. It was this past year. It was actually warm up there this past year. I hiked. I made two or three videos about it. Dennis Jackson, by the way, says, he says, that's why we spend so much time in the Smokies, Pigeon Forge. It's only a couple of hours away. Exactly. Yeah. And I've got to say this every time when it comes to the Smokies. There's a reason 12 million people visit every year. Of the East Coast, they are the Mac Daddy of the mountains. And it's like you almost have to accept it. But what I'll say about West Virginia has something that the Smokies do not have, that doesn't have. The Smoky Mountains do not have winter weather in a way that some people enjoy winter weather, like myself.
Spruce Knobs they had snow a month ago?
Yeah, they had snow a month ago.
Yeah.
And they have ski resorts,
yep.
Real ones, not fake ski resorts like Gatlinburg.
Fake news.
Yeah, and I grew up in Tennessee, so I'm allowed to say these things. It's okay. And if you grow up in Tennessee, you're kind of, a cousin with somebody in North Carolina. That's how that works. Going back to variety entertainment, though, that's just my opinion. But yeah, my daughter, that's where I was going with that. My youngest daughter, Crystal, she absolutely loves the Virginia Blue Ridge Parkway, but not too fond of the North Carolina Blue Ridge Parkway. So I get it. I totally get it. Kilted Adventure says, now we're talking to Cole Kidman. Oh, goodness. Variety Entertainment says, my opinion also changes constantly. Maybe if I go back, I'll feel differently. Okay. I totally get that too. I will say this. I feel like West Virginia needs to hire me. And so if you're from Langston, if you know anybody, Walter, if you're connected, they need to know about me at the state level and how much work I have done for the state of West Virginia this year. I'm telling you. And my wife, you want a photography contest, right?
My photo will be in the West Virginia 2022 calendar, and it will be placed. They're doing a jigsaw puzzle, and it's going on that too.
So my wife, Carolyn, I always push her photography. And Mom, if you're still in here, this is really cool.
She is.
This is really cool. She submitted, after me harassing her, she submitted some of her work to the state of West Virginia, and she is and it wasn't any kind of con. It wasn't like you pay $50 and you can win. No, it's a calendar. What is it again? It's a jigsaw and
the 2022 calendar.
2022 calendar.
My CM photography. They use one of my images, and they're using another image for a jigsaw puzzle.
And so 2 images being published by the state of West Virginia. Whoop whoop! Go Carolyn! Yes, outstanding. Yes. Come a long way, man.
I know.
Come a long way. I think it's awesome. Now, is she getting any money for that? No.
No.
So in some ways you could say my wife's work is being exploited, but I'm willing to let that go. If the state of West Virginia will acknowledge the work that we have both done for them in selling their state, because it is the best kept secret in the East Coast. Dolly Sods, Mark says, Dolly Sods is one of those odd names found down south. It's like Chop Soppy in the panhandle of Florida. Well, here's the thing. When you've got high elevation marshes in the north here, this is the north, kinda, they call them sods. In the south, they call them balds. Get it? I'm going to head you off on the joke. So you would have like Cherokee balds down south, which would be a high elevation mountain where mysteriously trees don't grow. And it's usually pretty wet there because the water kind of sinks in and just kind of stays there. And those are called balds because the mountaintop, it looks bald. There's no trees. And Dolly Sods, same way. Except instead of balds, they call them sods, which really, really puzzled me when I was making Dolly Sods video because I was trying to figure out what sods meant and what was going on there. So there you go. That's why it is a strange name. I'm trying to catch up here. Sorry about this guy. I didn't mean to have dead air there. Variety Entertainment says, I saw an ad Sunday that Ober-Gatlinburg Ski Resort was open. And I was like, the heck? I was at Dollywood literally yesterday, and it was like 70 degrees, like it is always. He says, oh, fake snow. I was hearing Trump in my head. Instead of fake news, fake snow.
Yeah, me too.
Remember our new slang that we're going to try to get young people to do. All right. Less than, greater than. So if something is, get it. Less, it's out. It's kind of goes back to algebra stuff because, this means exponential. And then you got, okay, you see what I'm saying? So if something's really good, you can say that's greater than. Wait a minute. Or was that less than? I can't remember which was which now. I'm sorry. Just work with it. You'll figure it out. Baker says, congratulations on the photo, Carolyn. Kilton Adventure says, I personally poured dollars into the West Virginia economy thanks to a Nose for Life. Yeah, but you didn't pour much. I mean, come on. Come on, Toby. Come on, Toby. You're like my financial advisor, so come on. You're kind of tight. You didn't pour much. Just saying. Giving you a hard time. You and Carolyn have done, Kilton Adventure says, you and Carolyn have done a lot for that day. We have most definitely poured some money in there. I want to buy property there. I mean, it's just an amazing place. Bryn G, congratulations, Carolyn. Well deserved. West Virginia loves both of you. Well, we know one West Virginia who does. We actually know a few. Curly Ray Marine, Bryn G, they love us. Friends. We're friends. I'm trying to get down here to the next comment. Dennis Jackson says, you can go to Ober-Gatlinburg web and see the snow they have made on their webcam, and it's not very much. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to have. I mean, Carolyn and I went through a period where we would go to Gatlinburg often, just about bouncing checks to go there, just get away. Like if we didn't have the kids or something, we would go to Gatlinburg, and it would always snow. You remember that? We'd get a good dusting or it was something or whatever, and we were thrilled. Carolyn and I, when we first got married, we heard it was snowing at Cherahalla Skyway over in outside McMinn County, and I can't think of the name of that county right now outside McMinn County, but Star Mountain and Cherahalla Skyway. And so it's pouring the snow on Cherahalla Skyway. It's not to Maryville. No, it's I was talking about a county. But so we're driving up there, and I didn't engage the four-wheel drive on the Blazer, and we slid back down the hill and hit somebody else. It was hilarious, and we both let's
not say we because you were driving.
Why do you got to throw me under the bus like that? I don't know why she has to throw me on the bus. But people will do anything in the deep South, especially if you live in Chattanooga, Atlanta, places like that, to see snow. You just don't see it. So you go to Gatlinburg thinking for some reason they went with a German branding early on in Gatlinburg's development because it wasn't called Gatlinburg when it was established. I think it was called Flats. I can't remember. Something Flats. And then they changed it to Gatlinburg. A little bit of branding there, but it's really I don't know. It used
to be called White Oak Flats.
White Oak Flats is what it used to be called. And so they branded it to be like a little German town, little ski thing and stuff. And I grew up there. I used to love it. They used to be my favorite place on the planet. But, it just, things change. Walter Langston says, when you have time, watch our 55 counties. That channel does so many videos of West Virginia and has filmed every county. I will. I got to check out the competition, Carolyn.
Yeah.
I got to check out the competition. Yeah. There are people that I got to brag on us for a minute. There are YouTube channels that have given us credit. Not publicly. I wish they would publicly, but have messaged and credited us for motivating them to start their channel. And now they have more subscribers than we do. And I'm hurt. I'm torn to pieces. But I will say they're one because, now it's late and the chances of somebody watching it this far on the repeat, slim to none. So I'm going to badmouth some YouTubers. That's right. I'm going to start some trouble. I'm going to start a mess here. I went to Yankees in the South. Anybody in here? I got to know this before I even go into this bit. Does anybody watch Yankees in the South? I think it's called Yankees in the South. Yankees. It's this couple. They live in Tennessee and they do all things Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge. Anybody watch? Please comment and let me know because you're more than welcome, Mark. But I want to see whether or not anybody else watches them.
You gotta give it time.
I knew Dennis Jackson would. I didn't want to be wrong, but I knew Dennis Jackson. And the reason why is because if you love Gatlinburg, if you love Pigeon Forge, and again, I don't think anybody's been to Cades Cove as much as Carolyn and I. I think we've been to Cades Cove 877 times. I don't know. I have no idea. I can tell you the history. One of my professors at Wesleyan, when I transferred from Union College to Wesleyan and finished up, there at Wesleyan. One of my professors, my advisor, Dr. Durwood Dunn, wrote the best-selling book in UK's press, University of Tennessee, not UK, UT's press. And it's a book, the authoritative book on Kate's Cove. That was my advisor at Wesleyan. He's dead now. God rest his soul. We love Kate's Cove. And this couple that watches Yankees, or that their channels like Yankees in the South, or I don't know.
I think you got one person so far that does that.
Yes, Dennis Jackson. And I had this idea because here's the thing. I had been watching their YouTube channel since they had like 25 subscribers. And I'm just going to be honest. I wasn't impressed. Their editing was no better than mine. They don't look any better than I do. Their production quality was eh. And I contacted them just a couple of years ago. I said, I've got this idea. I said, let's run this fake thing. I said, look, you've blown past me. You're at, I think at the time they were at 60,000 subscribers. And I said, it won't help you at all. I said, but it would be funny, and I'll edit it in such a way that you'll look like a hero. You guys will look awesome. I'll make you look great. And I said, it would help me. It would help our channel. And I said, I'm going to make it look like that I'm starting a rivalry with you. And that's not what this is. This is real, authentic hurt right now. This is real pain. This is just real. And here's what they did not respond. Now, I want you to hear me when I say this. They didn't respond. It would be one thing if they had written a dry corporate sounding letter. Yes, that would have made me mad too. But when you don't respond at all, the pain of just being so ignored, and then to watch their channel continually improve and continually increase in watch time and subscribers. And all they do is do Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge videos.
Did you get butthurt?
I did. And here's the thing. I respect their genius. They found a niche, like Toby wearing the kilt in his videos, and they stuck to the niche. Actually, it's not a bad channel. I'm just hurt. And Chris Hines says, haters. I don't know if you're talking about me or them, but either way, I get it. Haters going to hate. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Christopher, let's see. I'm trying to catch up. I got behind. Oh, yeah, the greater than less than thing. Going back down here to Christopher Hines, Denver could use some snow. We've gone 226 days without snow. Gee whiz. And that's not like Denver. When we got to Denver Airport, flew in last year, it was a blizzard was starting. And when they finally gave us our minivan, we were in the middle of a blizzard.
Yeah, we were.
Mark says, thanks for the explanation of SOTs. Hey, you're very welcome. I am here to not just entertain, but to educate. Variety says, I think I used to, but definitely not recently. And Bringy said, no. You guys are just trying to make me feel better. We are a different kind of channel. I'll say that. They're very dry. They don't do a lot of joking, kind of silly stuff. Toby and I talked about the style of our channel is that I don't ever want this channel to be too serious, but I never want it to be just shtick either. It's got to be shtick mixed with, hey, I'm going to tell you about the education side of what this is, and play it down if it doesn't, if it doesn't work. Dennis Jackson said that doesn't surprise me at all. Which part though, Dennis? The part that I got hurt, that my feelings hurt, probably doesn't surprise you at all. Probably does. I didn't really get hurt. I wasn't really. It was just more like, okay, ow. I thought it'd be cool. I thought it'd be fun because I was going to film it. All they had to do was show up. We were going to be there anyway. We had a ministers' conference at Pigeon Forge at a hotel that's terrible. I'm not even going to go there.
No.
Yeah, probably inappropriate. But and we were going to do this, just slip out and do this shtick where I run into them, and they ignored me. Hate the players, not the game, Toby says. Gary Millwood says, bad. Oh, that they didn't respond. Yeah, okay, why doesn't that surprise you? Like, seriously, like, is it because of the letter? Like, you get a letter and maybe somebody's like, okay, stalker, maybe. But I gave them a link to my channel. We're at least legitimate. I'm not saying we're booming, but we're in the game somewhere. I wouldn't want to rank us, but people have bumped into our videos. So, they seem, I don't know them personally. And I don't want to feud. Carolyn, I'd never start a YouTube feud.
No, please no.
No. Do you think I would start a YouTube feud?
No.
I wouldn't start a YouTube feud. I would never start a YouTube. All I'm saying is, not that I'm starting a YouTube feud. All I'm saying is maybe they got their idea for their channel from this one. Why not? Why not? It could happen. What are you going to do? Christopher Hines says too legit to quit. Do you remember that? Too legit to quit. Was that what? Who was that? That was the fake YouTuber, Will Smith. What about these actors and actresses starting YouTube channels? Man. Toby Kilted Adventure says abundance mentality versus scarcity mentality. That's a real thing. Ooh, Toby with the wisdom. Here, you ready for it? Watch. Exponential.
Oh my gosh.
Exponential. It's just growing, man. That's good. Dennis Jackson says they act like they are number one and do not like other tubers. Dennis, I did not know that. Oh, dun, dun, dun. See, I knew they were YouTube snobs. Well, that's fine because I grew up in East Tennessee. And if God ever moved us to that area, I would smoke their channel with my knowledge. I would smoke it because a lot of the things that they do on there, it needs something. They have a natural, they do have they're Yankees in the South. That is great shtick. And I think I would name my channel Not a Yankee, Home. I don't know. Maybe. Is that good? Is that okay? Home in East Tennessee. I know more than you. Is that a bad YouTube name? I don't know.
Stop it now.
Okay, I've got a little bit of bitterness. But I'm not trying to start a feud. I love everybody. I'm losing listeners in here now. They're like dropping out. They're like, oh God, what is he talking about? Is he serious? I'm not. I'm only half playing. Kilted Adventure says MC Hammer. He did too legit to quit. Too legit to quit. Dennis Jackson or just certain ones. Just me. They're cool with everybody else, but just not me. It's all right. Walter Langston lives 3 streets over from the one I grew up with. Live 3 streets over from the one. I got lost on that one. Which one? Who lives 3 streets over from the one I grew up on? Oh, you live 3 streets. Okay, it took me a minute. Sorry. I'm still stuck on Yankees in the South. I'm not against all Yankees in the South.
Moving forward.
I'm not. I'm just saying they could have written back. That's all I'm saying.
Let it go.
Walter Langston, you live 3 streets over from the one you grew up on. Wow. I can't even comprehend that type of stability. That is wonderful stability. It's great. Kilted Adventurer, Toby says, they are unlimited pies in the kitchen. There are unlimited pies in the kitchen. Abundance. Exactly. And all you're going to do is increase you. Oh, no. Brent G says, Bill, are you tired? Are you insulting me? What is it? I had 3 people at church Sunday. 3 people. You know what I'm going to say.
Oh my
I had 3 people at church come up and go, you look so tired. I'm like, I'm sorry. I think I have a medical condition. Here's the thing. I don't know why, but my grandfather did this, and I do this. When this time of year especially, I get dark. I talked about it last Vlogmas, and people go, are you okay? I'm like, I've done this since I was 12. I used to think it was because of asthma, but I don't have asthma now. Now, I don't feel tired. I guess it's the topic that we're on. Yankees in the South.
Oh, are you still on that? Moving forward.
Christopher Hines says, my kids watch YouTubers playing video games. I would rather just play video games. Well, here's the thing. Chris, I did a video. I'll throw a video out every now and then just to see what kind of action, what could happen. And it was about video games, but I made it look like I was going to play games on here. I think I would lose all of my current audience if I started playing video games on YouTube. And I'm too old to gain a younger audience. I did want to start another channel where all I did was play Atari games.
Atari.
Yes. Or Nintendo, like the old Nintendo.
The original.
But treat it just like the young people, like my son and others, who, when they're doing the YouTube thing with their video games and stuff, and treat it like that. Treat it like I was a YouTuber back in the 80s or early 90s. I thought that would be fun. I'm tongue twisted tonight. No, I think that is my sugar's a little high and I'm got dry mouth. I think that's what that is. I've noticed I'm having to use the eyedroppers a lot,
Mom's in here. She's going to yell at you.
I know. Mom's going to go off on the sugar now. We might have to boot Mom. Mom, get out. No. And also, Brent, I'm a little tongue twisted talking about, rivalries on YouTube. I'm not trying to start a feud. I'm not. I'm not.
Let it go.
I'm not. Christopher Hines says, working hard for Jesus. That is what it's all about, working hard for Jesus. The Kilted Adventure says, been thinking about Botox for the tired, wrinkled look as a YouTuber. My thoughts? I don't even know how to respond. Let's say you were in competition with, I don't know, kilted Yankees in the South. Maybe some Botox here and there would never hurt anybody. No, I don't. It's not for me. I always said that when I went to age, that I was going to do so with grace, and just get wrinkly and just look old. And it will. But when I said that, my goatee was red, and now it's white. So now there's all kinds of tempting things. I have told some YouTubers that came to me for help, some starting out YouTubers. One recently where, we were having a heart-to-heart, and I was like, well, this is what the platform is like. This is what it's like here. This is what's going on. And basically, because he looks young, this person looks very, very young. He could pass for 24, 25. I said, you need to run with that. Like, run with that. Keep your goatee the color it is right now, because he's like my age and he looks like he's 22. And so in your case, Toby, you're one of those guys that look young. So I don't know. I don't really have advice on it. I think it's personal. It's very personal. I would never do it. Obviously, I never got hair plugs. Look, bald as a cucumber. And I never, once I accepted that the locks of hair that I at one time had, that those beautiful waves. The other day I took a brush to my hair being silly. I don't know who I was being silly, but I took a brush to my hair. I have not felt the bristles of a brush in over a decade, and my head felt weird, like this familiar feeling. A familiar, but it was just strange. Variety Entertainment says, oh, wait a minute. The Kilted, where am I at here? Oh, there we are. Variety Entertainment says, well, I could easily say I'd rather just go hiking instead of watching someone hike. I don't know. I just don't get it when people say they'd rather do something than watch someone do that thing. I don't get that either, because I watch hiking channels all the time. I watch Toby's got a great channel. The Kilted Adventurer on here. I watch other YouTubers all the time, especially looking at how they're, what a good videographer, I don't like calling them videographers. I would rather say filmmaker. What a good filmmaker does is try to capture the experience and present it in a either a new way in creativity, or present it in a way that captures a feeling. We try to capture the emotion of the situation. That's what we try to do. That's why sometimes it works and sometimes I fail. I'm not Stanley Kubrick. As much as I admire his work, I'm not him. So and I'm limited on time, equipment, and talent. So I enjoy that aspect. There's these, I need to get their name up here because I really want to push their channel, and I just can't think of the name of their channel, but it's 4 of them. They've been YouTubing for 6 years, 7. And their channel, you would think that they would have millions and millions of subscribers, but they only have a couple 100,000. But they've won awards, though, and they are the best filmmakers in YouTube, and they don't make videos all the time. They don't want to. They want to make good videos. Before the changeover, for those of you that have been with YouTube for a while, the changeover happened in 2016, somewhere around there, when they changed the partner program and all that stuff. Before all that happened, a YouTuber could wait and make better quality. And sometimes I really wish we could do that. I wish we could put out maybe one video every 2 months and just put out a 45-minute wonderful video, just small films. I think YouTube would be a better atmosphere. It'd be less Twitter-like. But, I think I'm the only one that feels that way. I know this. A lot of YouTubers are happier in their mental health if they just make what they want. They don't care. So I don't know. For me, I guess I'm more content just following what YouTube kind of recommends that you do. Walter Langston said, still have the Nintendo. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. So I think it would be fun for 4 or 5 minutes to watch somebody goof off on Atari or Nintendo. That might be fun. I don't know. But I don't want to sit around playing video games. Isn't that weird? Broadcasting, as Variety Entertainment says, broadcasting has always been that way to an extent. Yeah, it has. True. Very true. Bringy says, speechless. Wow. Smart aleck, Bringy. Walter Langston says, in my late 30s and look 20. Not fair. I have looked my age now, except for the goatee. I have looked my age now for 25 years. It's paying off now. I was prepared. Chris Fry says he won the genetic lottery. Kilt Adventure says at Variety Entertainment, I wish everyone would hike, but most won't. So I use YouTube as to inspire others to get outdoors. If it's escapism for them, so be it. I'll tell you what, on our channel, we talk about, and because we have a lot of subscribers, and it started with my Aunt Kathy. And Mom will tell you she's very disabled. And of them commenting about, thank you for showing this because I'll never get to see it because she's disabled. And then that turned into conversations. And then that turned into other people saying the same thing. And some of them are not in here tonight, but we have several long time subscribers who will come in and chat with us who are very disabled, or their husband or their wife, they're disabled, but they love these places and they daydream about, it gives them some escape. Like Toby was saying, you know, I would rather be hiking sometimes than making a video, but I also enjoy making a video. So I do both. But it's also made me a lot more empathetic towards people who are disabled. I mean, it's given me a lot of empathy because when I go to these places now, I'm thinking about them. And Roan Mountain being one of them, I got furious on Roan Mountain. You guys that watched the Roan Mountain video know that I did this stuff at the end. You know, I don't know if Gary's still in here or not, but Gary even commented, Gary Millwood, he commented about it because I lost him in it. But I just kind of went off about the national forest down there. There's no place for a handicapped person to access for a beautiful view off Roan Mountain unless they've done something since. And even if there is something up there for handicapped, there's no signs to indicate it. So you're just stuck driving, and there's no views while you're driving. They've reforested that whole area. And it's just kind of makes me mad. Bryn G's heading to bed, right? Says it's been fun, but my pillow was calling. Love you guys. Hey, we love you too, as always. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow night. We'll try to get on here if it's possible at 9:00. I think we have something tomorrow evening, but we'll try to be on here at 9:00. We do. The board meeting, but it's a dinner. But we're still going to try to get here by 9:00. Dennis Jackson says see you tomorrow. I've got to get up early in the morning. Dennis, we will see you as well. And Christopher Hines says, I've lived in Colorado since 97, and I've never been skiing. You know, I can kind of understand that one. Even though I would love to go skiing, even now, even though it's dangerous for me now, crazy for me to try it, I would be willing to do it because it was fun when I did it as a kid. But I do understand there's a fear there, you know, and then there's also, do I really want to go 90 miles an hour down a hill? You know, some people can't even walk in the snow, much less try to ski. So I understand that a little better. And there's other stuff there's other stuff to do. You can go snowmobiling. I mean, you can do other stuff that's just as fun. Variety Entertainment says, I'll check out the Hilton Adventurer, though. I'm telling you, great channel. I'm actually a quarter Scottish. I love Scotland. Edinburgh's probably my favorite city I've ever visited. You know what? Carolyn has wanted me to take her to Ireland. Yes. And here's the thing, guys. I don't want to go. It's nothing personal to Ireland. It's if I want to go on an adventure in Europe, I would rather go to the Alps.
I want to go there too, but not there because you've been to these places.
I have been. I've almost been all over the world. Almost, not quite. I'm missing a continent there, but not counting, the snowball. But on this here flat Earth, I'm kidding. Oh my goodness. But on this here Earth, I've been all over Europe, but I would rather go someplace a little more picturesque. Whereas Ireland almost looks like East Tennessee, East Kentucky almost. I know it's a little different, but I don't know. Talk me into it. Tell me. Gary Millwood says good night all. And the Kills Adventure says Edinburgh is the most magical place I've ever been. And I can't wait to go back. And we'll end on that note. After all, it is, we've been on here an hour and 23 minutes, which is kind of long for us. But we appreciate you being here. And I said at the beginning, and I'll say it now, every minute that we get to spend together is wonderful. And I'm enjoying Vlogmas, and I hope you guys are too. Tomorrow night, grab a cup of coffee, sit up with us, and we'll talk until you get tired. So you guys have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow night. Peace.